and kind of and just kind of going more into like the work-life balance in general. Maria, like how do you kind of do that right now? Working and stuff, working full time and balance like activities.
Um, I love this question actually. I think work-life balance is so important. So I work in a very male-dominated space, and I was like a tomboy for a lot of my life. And then I started working with like engineering dudes, and I think that like woke up the feminine energy in me. So like I love like pursuing fashion and everything. So I do a lot of thrifting in my spare time, and then I work remotely, but I do a lot of tech conferences. So then I bring the outfits I curate to that. So that's part of my balance. I make sure to exercise or like even just like move my body because I've noticed the times when I don't move my body, my brain starts to slow down. So like finding an activity that like forces you to get out of the house and like interact with people, I think is really great. And like I started doing like dance classes and like trying to explore parts of work that allowed me to learn without pursuing perfection, if that makes sense. Just reading for the sake of reading, exploring fashion for the sake of fashion, exploring exercise and mindfulness for the sake of it. So it's not tied to like your worth. I think that's like a really important thing to do because a lot of people get into the trap of like, I am my work, or I am my salary, or I am my title. So finding things that like enrich your spirit, I think is really important. And then another part of my work life balance, travel is a huge big like part of my life. Like I'm currently in Santa Barbara visiting my mom. Flexibility is super, super important. I'm not afraid to pack a bag and travel, finding ways if that's something you value to get your work to pay for it. Almost all of my international travel this year has been through work. So finding little ways to get work to pay for it, well, is like my biggest key to learn now. Life hack.
I think to add to my point, I also work fully remote. I love the flexibility that I have to be able to pursue all of these little things that make me feel better about myself, like working out and all that. But I do think something that does get tricky, and I think anyone who either works remote or like has like I've like had full semesters remote can relate to it, that like it's even more important to prioritize yourself and that balance when your work is at home, because it's so easy for them to get mixed up where it's like if the only thing stopping me from working is just me opening my computer, I can open my computer at 10 p.m. to work, right? And that's not like a healthy work-life balance, because at 10 p.m. I should be getting ready for bed. So I think it's even more on you as a person, and I guess on me, to be able to achieve that balance. And something that does help me do that, try to separate my home as much as possible. Where it's like, if I can work all day at a coffee shop, I'd rather do that than work an hour on my couch. And even if it's like I would avoid at all costs trying to take my computer to my bed. It's like, my bedroom is where I sleep, and that's like a sacred place where I just like sleep, and then my closet, and that's it. Um, and just trying to like separate these areas of my life where it's like I don't feel as inclined. Like when if I go to a coffee shop and do all my work, I won't feel as inclined when I get home to just open my computer again. Something that I left for home or something. But for the most part, I can make that separation so that I can also enjoy my home space and then enjoy the things that I want to enjoy without feeling the pressure to always be working, since I always have access to work.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing before to add on to that, which I really like what you said, like limit your access to work, especially since this is geared towards younger people. You have your whole life to work in an office, work, your whole life. There are certain things you can only do at a
I
certain
want
age. Make time to explore yourself and the world. There's a certain amount of time where it makes sense for you to hike Mount Everest, learn how to be a ballerina, go to Australia for 6 months or whatever. Prioritize those things. That is way more important than having another $500,000 in your bank account when you're 80. So that's my thing about work-life balance.